Shanequa Paris here from TST Foundation. I'm here with the owner of MGM Gym in Marbella, Matthew Macklin. Now, that fight that just happened between Natty and Breeze, who were you supporting and what do you think of the fight?
I was supporting Natty because my brother Seamus managed him and trained him, and Steve McHale, well, he's his head coach, Steve McHale. He's a very good friend of mine and he's involved with MGM Birmingham. I thought it was a close fight, but I thought that Breeze won it. I thought it was the right decision. I just think that Natty probably had the more power and strength and things, but you could see that Breeze had the more schooling. You know, he had more experience, not just as a professional, but you could see he had more of an amateur pedigree because he just had. It's weird because you're watching Natty and he can do some like real eye-catching things that you can see he's like a Mayweather fan, but then the basics let him down a little bit at times. So it's almost like there's a roof on the house, but there's no foundations built. So I think he just needs a bit of time in the gym. But he's got, you know, from a physical point of view, he's a physical specimen. He's got all the attributes. He's powerful. He's got a good chin. He's got plenty of guts, and he wants it. So there's a lot you can work with. You know, he just needs a bit of time in the gym and a bit of schooling, really. Just a bit of teaching, a bit of time in the gym with James McHale and myself, hopefully, and I'm sure he'll be going and become a much better fighter.
Are you a boxing fan in general?
Yeah, well, I've been boxing since I was 10, amateur. So I've just retired Thursday from a 15-year pro career. So, and first and foremost, I'm a fan. So, you know, yeah, big fan. And the other thing I said tonight, I said, listen, don't be down. You lost in a close fight, and it was a good fight, and everyone out there enjoyed it. You know, and you've only had 4 or 5 fights. You know, he's a lot more experienced, not just professionally, but he had a much better ground in schooling in the amateurs. So, and you could see that, I thought, at times, and that was the difference, really. But now he'll learn loads from that, and he just needs a bit of time in the gym to work on a few things. And I think a year, 18 months down, Natty will be a completely different fighter.
Did you think that was going to last the full 8 rounds?
To be honest, before the fight, I thought Natty could possibly maybe stop Dan Breeze because he hits quite hard and he's strong. But in fairness to Dan Breeze, he boxed a smart fight. You know, he fought to his strengths. You know, which was a good jab, and he kept moving. He kept the tight guard. So, you know, it wasn't so much what Natty did wrong. Dan did a lot of things well. So you have to give him a lot of credit too.
There was a lot of shots that Natty was throwing as well. The big ones, the big powerful ones. Is that something that you would recommend? Well,
I just think that at times he was pouring too much with the jab. You know, standing in range, punching range too much, just pouring it with the jab rather than banging it out. And then other times he was kind of going for a real home run, the haymaker type thing, where I think he needed something in the middle of the two. You know, because, you know, I just think he needs to get his jab. I just think he needs more work. You know, it was a risky fight to take. He's not very experienced. He didn't have a lot of amateur fights. He's only had a few fights as a professional. Never been 8 rounds. So, you know, everything was stacked in Breeze's favour. But we thought it was a gamble. We just thought that he could do it. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it wasn't the end of the world by any means. He's disappointed, which is good to see because it shows what it means to him. But there's loads of things he can work on, and his career's only starting.
And how do you find the boxing scene in Marbella, Matthew?
There weren't really much. There isn't a big boxing scene in Spain, full stop, to be honest. And any boxing there is, it's up in Madrid. But I was spending a lot of time in Spain in between fights in Marbella, and I think it was after the Sergio Martinez fight where I'd been out in New York for 10 weeks in January, and I was like, after that fight, I was like, I'm sick of this, living out of bags, you know, I want to get settled now. And I'm spending all my time in Marbella. So I moved there for a few years, we set up the gym. And yeah, from that point of view, the gym went from strength to strength because a lot of fighters from the UK and Ireland and Western Europe, you know, in the winter months, it's raining here, it's cold. They like to get away for a week or 2, or even 10 weeks, or however many weeks they want to get away with, you know, to kind of get away and really focus, go into like a real camp mentality. So from that point of view, we've had a lot of really good fighters go through the doors, so which is great.
Great speaking to you, Matthew. Take care. Cheers.